Hello there. Breaking news. Police are investigating another homicide. Zaydan Alvarez is St. Lucia's latest homicide victim. Responding to the scene at approximately 7:10 p.m. This is St. Lucia's ninth confirmed homicide since the start of the year. We will have more details as they become available. New noise pollution legislation is expected to go before the Parliament for debate and approval soon. The proposed law is expected to restrict the decibels at which music can be played in residential and commercial areas. Concerned residents argue the music being played and some establishments after hours is too loud. Speaking on Monday during the briefing room, Grosley MP Kenson Casimir, whose constituents have complained about noise pollution, said the new law may be in place sooner than expected. A new law to govern how loud music is played and at what times is coming soon. The proposed noise pollution legislation will include decibel levels which did not exist before. Decibel levels are used to measure noise. The problem of noise pollution was amplified recently by residents of Rodney Bay. The area served the dual function as home to several restaurants, bars, nightclubs, and private residences. Member of Parliament for Grosley, Kenson Casimir, says government is also giving thought to partnering with entertainment venue operators to address the noise levels from their establishments.
And so at the end of the day, once you get the different decibel levels, that should provide some level of comfort for people to enjoy themselves, while at the end of the day not really infringing on the rights of others to have some level of peace. The fact of the matter is we have different parts of St. Lucia that are dual sort of it functions as both an entertainment area and residency, and so you will not find a common ground all the time. But we are definitely, as a government, we've worked very hard to ensure that we arrive at a level that should be able to give the police something to work with.
The Grosley MP also disclosed that the Attorney General's Chambers has provided a first draft of the legislation. The state recognizes the need to facilitate entertainment while respecting the rights of residents to enjoy the comfort of their homes.
You don't want to go, I'm still relatively young. I don't want to go to a nightclub and it's quiet. You want to feel the music, you want to, at the end of the day, enjoy the vibration with your friends. But we must ensure that it's done in a responsible manner, in a considerate manner for others. And so we are considering some of the alternatives that we can actually give to those bar owners, those restaurant owners, those individuals who have nightclubs, on how we can partner to ensure that some of the edifices that you spoke of and some of the different methods we can use to mitigate against noise getting out is done in a very, very strategic way.
The new noise pollution law is expected to come into place by year end. In other news, opposition spokesman on tourism, Senator Dominic Fedee, says while the government should be concerned about the possibility of travel advisories being imposed on the island due to high crime levels, its primary focus should be on citizen safety. The United States has warned its citizens of crime concerns upon issuing a travel advisory for the Bahamas last Friday. With homicide rates almost in double figures, Fedee warns a similar advisory for St. Lucia can be disastrous.
First and foremost, we should fix the crime situation for our residents, people who are living here, regardless of their walk of life. And I think that this is where our focus needs to be. Once we manage our country from the standpoint that St. Lucia is a safe place to live, then I think you can say it can be an amazing place for people to visit. But it must first be a safe place for us to live for people that are living here, because these are the people that are most affected by the crime situation that are affecting us. The chances of a tourist being affected has proven to be that very slim. But however, one situation can blow out of control, as we have seen historically. The Bahamas, it's a very sad situation what has happened there, but if we are not careful, the very same thing can happen to St. Lucia. Tourism is a very sensitive business, and crime does not help the brand.
Fede says current crime trends suggest a deterioration of the moral fabric of St. Lucia. The opposition senator says the government is being too soft on crime.
Right now in St. Lucia, it seems as if the tail is wagging the dog. And I think we need to get back to the days when the dog wags the tail. The police, certainly law enforcement should show that we are in control, not you, the criminals. And it appears that the criminals are in control. And, you know, people tend to get that impression. I know that this is a very controversial statement, but at the moment, you know, I've seen videos of people in crowds pointing their fingers in the faces of police officers. This is egregious. This is wrong. And we need to make sure that people understand that the police is there to ensure that law and order is maintained in this country, and you should respect the police. There should be no disrespect. And so I think we got to get that part right to regain the level of respect for the police. And, you know, I think that people in politics can do well to make sure that they support the police more so that the police gains that respect. Now, you know, I think the St. Lucia Labour Party administration, you look at who supported them in the last election, they can't bark because many of the perpetrators of crime are their supporters. And so I'm not saying that all SLP supporters are criminals, but there seems to be a pandering to lawless behavior by the St. Lucia Labour Party administration. And so that's why you've never seen any government official from the cabinet come out and to speak forcefully and to say that we reject that kind of behavior and to say that this is unacceptable because their hands are tied because they need political favors from certain criminal elements of the country.
So far, this year, the island has recorded 8 homicides. In other news, St. Lucia's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister responsible for tourism, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, has announced big 2024 plans for the tourism sector, which remains St. Lucia's leading economic earner. Hilaire says developments will see a much-needed increase in available room stock. Tammy Frederick reports.
Major developments are underway for the tourism industry. According to Tourism Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire, some of the developments set to come on stream are the Redri Beach development, Tabusha and Choiseul, and Black Bay development. He says other tourism-related developments will also be implemented over the next few months. The minister further stated that the recent growth in tourist arrival numbers for both cruises and stayovers supports the need to increase current room stock.
There's a huge demand for rooms in St. Lucia. So as we prepare to get more room stock, we will go through a challenging period. But we expect in the next 2 to 3 years to add over about 1,000 new rooms in St. Lucia, which is a desirable state that we want to achieve.
According to Hilaire, St. Lucia cruise tourism sector will also see significant upgrades in the next coming years.
In the next sitting of Parliament, we will be tabling the Tourism Development Bill, which is aimed at transforming the tourism industry, offering more support for St. Lucians getting involved in the tourism industry, and the incentives regime to be expanded beyond just accommodation, but to all sectors of the tourism industry is a major piece of legislation. So certainly looking forward to presenting it in the House.
Hilaire, who is also Deputy Prime Minister, also calls St. Lucians to get involved and participate in the tourism industry. He says government hopes to achieve 2 main goals of getting visitors to spend more money in St. Lucia and more St. Lucians to own a piece of the tourism industry. From the GVD News Desk, I am Tammy Frederick reporting.
The second staging of the Central Library's Literary Festival, also known as LitFest, has been dubbed a huge success. The activity came off at the Central Library last week Friday. Chris Satney reports.
Imagine that, an island gal on the run from the sun every Sunday.
The Central Library, through its literary festival, is attempting to marry this with a showcase of products from budding entrepreneurs called LitFest. The festival was held in commemoration of Nobel Laureate Week. Several areas of the arts were showcased at the event, which is a spin-off of the Central Library's lunchtime poetry sessions.
So we sing Bob Marley so proudly that after all these years you'd figure you still can emancipate yourselves from mental slavery.
It's ridiculous how envious and jealous people could be of the progress of someone's success. If only they knew they could achieve this and greater things by applying patience and ambition.
Sally Roseman, who is the Director of Library Services, is again heartened by the response to the second staging of the event held in celebration of the arts and achievements of the island's two Nobel laureates.
St. Lucia's very own Sons of the Soil, who happen to share the same birthday but 15 years apart. And what a miraculous coincidence that they both received a Nobel Prize. As a public librarian, it would be remiss of me not to highlight their achievement and acknowledge the potential of our very own budding creatives in poetry, drama, and other forms of literary endeavor.
Ms. Roseman says showcasing the products of budding entrepreneurs as a side attraction at the event helps promote their items and gives the small businesses some much needed exposure. Organizers see local entrepreneurs invited to the lunchtime activity as artists within their own right.
This activity concentrates on highlighting the talents that exist amongst us, the creative and performing arts in song and poetry recital. It is therefore my pleasure to welcome you to enjoy our presentations and to speak with our entrepreneurs and patronize them.
The literary festival known as LitFest was held under the theme for Nobel Laureate Week 2024, celebrating excellence, inspiring our collective imagination, fostering national pride. Sir William Arthur Lewis received the Nobel Memorial Prize for Economics in 1979, while Sir Derek Alton Walcott received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1992. The Nobel Laureate Festival honors their accomplishments and triumphs. From the Communications Unit of the Department of Education, Innovation and Vocational Training, I am Chris Satney reporting.
Hallelujah. That's what's making news this hour. I am Makiba Eiffel. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.